Welcome to Drunk on Social, the Symposium, where we help you stay ahead of social media trends, share the latest news, and highlight the strategies that are working to help you grow your business. Now let's join our hosts, Tristan and Jeff, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, Drunk on Social, the Symposium, and this is a special episode where we are going to only recap the Social Genius event that happened, gosh, was it a week ago? A little over a week ago, where
1995.
Geez, I believe it was 2021.
I'm just joking.
Are we going back to the future? Can we get Michael J. Fox on?
That'd be awesome.
So Tristan and I are gonna recap the event that was mind-blowing. It was amazing. It is currently available for purchase, and eventually we might even release these as podcast episodes individually. But today we're just gonna talk about our biggest takeaways from each of the speakers. So Tristan, why don't you recap who the speakers were first, and then let's go in maybe one at a time.
All right, we got Brendan Kane, who's written 2 best-selling books. Look him up. Rory Vaden, also a best-selling author, multimillionaire, sold a company and built another one just on branding. Then London Lazerson, he's a newer influencer. He's got almost 6 million followers on TikTok, and he's on fire. Next is D-Rock, and D-Rock is the main content editor, marketing brain behind what Gary Vaynerchuk does. He's always talking to D-Rock on the side or on live. You can watch. It's like, hey, D-Rock, hey, that's D-Rock. And then Judi Fox, she's a LinkedIn extraordinaire, and I suck at LinkedIn, so I really paid attention to that one.
So let's start with Brendan Kane, man, because first of all, there was so many nuggets. I've got tons of notes. I've kind of got my one pager of the best of the best.
Me too.
Let's talk about each one individually. Yeah,
let's go.
Same wavelength.
Dude, I fit it in one page, but it took multiple tries.
Yes,
here we go.
Exactly.
I'll start with Brandon, then you tell me what you learned. Here's what I got, and I figured you probably have the same thing I do. So, my favorite phrase that we stole from him. Thank you, Brandon. Stop the scroll. I love that, dude. Like, if you can just think of one thing that your job is when it comes to social media, is to stop the scroll. Stop it. How do you do that? He got into it and said, well, you have to get people's attention and you have to hold it. The cool thing was he had a formula that he talked about. And I said, hey man, what about the 3 F's? I know you have 5, but 3 of them are F's. So let's lead with that. I said feelings, fun, and facts. And then he got into this whole research he did, which is you're giving people what they want, man. That's what I got from it. Give people what they want. I can't wait until the t-shirt comes out, stop the scroll, because I want one.
That's going to be one of the best. For me, well, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff for all these guys, but for me, the thing that I'm still thinking about, I'm actually going to do a live in Drunk on Social after today probably, and so that'll have already been aired by the time this comes out. But he talked about 2 things. One was how social media, how many people treat it as one to many and not one to one. And he brought up and he kind of led that into one of his books, which is called Hook Point, which is all about, the hook, how you lead in with your post. And it's not just video, it's also just your post, your caption. You grab attention with the first line, you grab attention with your video. And the way that he equated this was to me was when people start videos, many times, what do you say? Hey guys, hey, how's everybody doing? And he said, listen, think about who's on the other end. How often are you ever talking to a group of people on the other end? Never, probably never. Literally, they're sitting in their couch, they're sitting in their office, they're sitting individually listening. So change the narrative to where you're talking to one. Therefore, they'll feel like you're talking to them and you're more likely to grab their attention and hold them. I love that, but I want to say this, Tristan, and I'm gonna say this in my live, is that social media is one to many. It is one to many. It's one to exponential amount of manys. And you need to remember that. It's better, to me, it's more powerful than any other marketing and advertising that exists on the planet, because why? You can do it for free, organically. So you have to have that mindset of, it's one to many, but I need to be talking one to one. And if you can think like that, by golly, you're going to figure this thing out.
By golly.
Like that?
I love that phrase.
Like that?
I love. What did you watch last night, David?
Actually, I did watch a movie last night, but that had nothing to do with it.
Oh, damn it. That was good.
You ever seen Catch Me If You Can? I watched that last night.
Dude, I love that movie.
I had never seen it. It was really good. Yeah.
What? What'd you think?
I loved it. So much so that I went and Googled the actual guy and spent like 2 hours reading all about him.
Yes, that was a very fun movie. The fact that it was true was even better.
Right.
All right, you talk about Rory Vaden because I didn't know who he was really until we talked to him.
Yeah, Rory he's like literally one of the best speakers in the world. He's gone on this speaker circuit. He's very successful. He's had a coaching platform that he built and sold, and now he's got a platform called Brand Builders. And Rory is so freaking eloquent. I think one of the things he said that I loved the most was, discipline is defined as taking action in the absence of motivation. And he had several profound statements, because the dude's just really smart. I could listen to the guy talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. But I loved that. And honestly, I don't know if you have any quotes that you took from him, but Rory is a guy I can listen to all day.
Here's what I learned from him. Personal branding is digitized trust. And we've got to automate that trust. And when he said that, I was like, hold on. Let me group. And then he said this, which a lot of people said they loved this part, which was on Instagram. He says, what you do goes on the feed. Who you are goes to your story. And then the money is in the DMs. And he explains it in the event, but to me, that was super cool, dude. And then here's a side note, we're texting back and forth and he goes, hey, how did you play that into multiple groups? So we're talking about that. He goes, do you have anything that plays it into Instagram? I go, no, I don't have, the thing I had that played it into Instagram doesn't work anymore. He's like, have you tried Yellow Duck? I'm like, what? I'm like, no. He's like, all right, well, try it. And then he says, try it, and if it works, let me know how you did it. I was like, okay, I'll try it, damn it. And then I tried it, and I had to play it through Ecamm Live. You can play it through OBS, or you can play it through Wirecast. But for me, I have Ecamm Live because I have a Mac, and so I turned that on, then turned on Yellow Duck, and that's the software, right? And then Yellow Duck then says, okay, put in your Instagram handle. I put it in, and then it gives me the streaming code. And then I have to take that code and put it into Ecamm Live when I go live. And then it plays me live into Instagram. And so that's why he was asking, how do you do it? I was like, okay, hold on, let me break this down for you. You're going to need Ecamm Live, right? But now we can do it. And then I played live, and then I realized, sorry, I'm taking you on a tangent, Jeff, but I realized something here. I didn't know that the lives don't save unless you go to the back end and you turn it on so that they archive. I didn't know that lives didn't save automatically.
This just turned into something powerful.
Well, that was just all off of one question. So I discovered how to do it. So we've got to at least try that on, or at least talk about it later.
I was just going to say, that's important. And I think since you brought it up, a lot of people are probably going to be thinking, where do I go on the back end to turn that on in Instagram? And maybe we should save that for the next episode. So make a note. Let's talk about this. We've already got one. So let's talk about, make a note. Let's talk about that in the next episode. Please make that note. So that's important. This is very important. Being able to multi-stream, but stream to Instagram is very important.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, Facebook tells us it's extremely important, and people are doing. All right, London. What do you have from London Lazerson?
You know, he's a TikToker. First of all, he impressed me way more than I thought he would. The thing my biggest takeaway was the reposting idea. Don't overthink this stuff. When you have stuff that goes viral, periodically repost it, and you'll probably go viral again and pick up a whole new gaggle of followers. And it's like, holy crap, why didn't I think about that? That's brilliant. Not only that, the second, I'm going to give two real quick because it was that good. I think we overthink what to talk about, and, find your niche and go all in on it and make that your thing. And so literally, Tristan, when we left that Social Genius, I went to my TikTok, changed my bio, and the top thing now says Ozarks content creator, because that's what grabs the most attention. So when people click on my bio, I want them to see I'm all in for you. So follow me. And that's how I'm going to wrangle people in. And so I thought that was really brilliant. So find your niche first, and then go all in on it.
That goes back to what Brandon was telling us, which is give people what they want.
Yes.
And dude, like, your Ozark stuff is legit. I'm thinking about it now. That's what I gravitate to when I'm looking at your stuff. Like, I look for that time you were like, am I gonna fall through the frozen lake? I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah.
But that was at the Ozark.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. And then I know we both got motivated here to do 100 videos in 30 days. So I'm pumped about that.
I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
I already started. I'm cheating. Okay, I'm cheating.
Yeah,
and I know you did too.
Yeah, we both.
So, all right, that's good on London. You covered exactly what I learned. D-Rock.
Oh man, you go first.
I took the most notes on D-Rock, so I'm just gonna go over one thing that I think stood out for me. That was like, hold on. There's a few things here. Here. This is the one that stood out for everybody. And that was, he said, think about this. When you have 500 followers on Instagram or Facebook, people are like, oh, but I only have 400 followers. He's like, what if you think about that in person, in an actual room? He said, imagine 400 people in a room. Is that a lot? He's like, you better believe it. That's how you have to think of your followers. Your job is to engage all of them because you have the opportunity to connect with all 400. And I never thought of it that way. That's actually very cool, man.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I wanted to share.
Madison Square Garden. That was what he brought up. He's like,
oh yeah, that's right.
He goes, think about it. If you have a video that gets 20,000 views, 30,000 views, you just had the entire arena of Madison Square Garden watching you. Think of it that way. And you're right, because when you break it down and you say 400 or 500 people, if you go to a conference, a real estate conference, 400 or 500 people is a huge event, a big event. Yes. If you stand on stage in front of 400 or 500 people, you're probably crapping your pants if you're not used to doing it. And so when you think of it in that perspective, it's very powerful. I love that. Another good one that he had was virality should only come if you make good shit. That was.
Yeah, dude, that was so good. Yes. People complain all the time, like, why isn't my stuff getting picked up? I'm like, because it sucks. Because somebody's got to tell you it sucks.
Yep. And he was the other one. Let me give one more too that I love. That he said that think about Gary Vee. And again, if you don't know who Gary Vee is, look him up. Gary Vaynerchuk. He's the godfather of social media, godfather of vlogging. And he said he did 1,000 episodes of the wine show before he really started gaining any notoriety whatsoever. 1,000 shows. Do the math on that. He wasn't doing them every day. So it probably took him 5, 6, 7, 8 years to become a fraction of what Gary Vee is today. That's how long it takes. And so D-Rock reminded us that, guys, you're not gonna do viral because you're not probably creating good shit, but it's gonna take you years of consistency. 1,000 wine shows. That's mind blowing.
So I invited you to a consulting session that I had with him yesterday. So separate, outside of the community. I recorded it. I sent it to you, Jeff.
Yep.
He had one thing to say that I want to add that I want you to do with me, by the way. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. Well, first he did say, he brought up our group, Drunk on Social. He's, how many people do you have? 10,000. He goes, imagine that in a stadium. It's the same thing. And I was like, damn, we need to do more with Drunk on Social. Join our group. And then he said, Tristan, have you ever posted to Twitter? I'm like, I kind of suck at Twitter. That's like LinkedIn. And I know he's told you too, but he said, have you ever posted 100 posts in one day to Twitter? And I said, hold on, I'm gonna tell Jeff too.
God, what did he say? What did he do? Laugh?
I texted him after. So Jeff, 1st September is 100 videos in 30 days. And in that month or the next month, we got to pick one day where we do 100 posts to Twitter.
Why?
And we have to tag D-Rock on all of them, he said.
Well, I mean, Twitter is just
so he just wants to know what day it's going to be.
Twitter is like thoughts.
Anything. He goes, yeah, it could be a thought, it could be a quote, it could be a video, it could be something else shared. He's like, what happens is as you start doing this, you start just getting into this groove of posting a lot of things. And believe it or not, he's like, you're going to look at 30 of those and be like, wow, that was really good. And then you stop overthinking yourself. That's what he wants you to get into. Because you stop overthinking, hey, should I post this? Should I post that? Just post it. This is cool.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, because of D-Rock, I have started to post to Twitter. And then I take the tweets and I snip them and I put them to my stories. You know, they're multi-purpose content. And it's easy stuff, right? It's just a thought. I mean, literally, like one of my most recent ones was, if you video it, they will come. Like I heard that on a podcast I was listening to and I was like, oh, that's great. I'm going to tweet that. And that's what I do. I just tweet profound things.
You tweet profound. I like that.
That's it.
I'm going to just type that up on my next tweet. I tweet profound things.
There you go. Follow me. I tweet profound things. Good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Judi Fox, LinkedIn master.
You know, she surprises me. She surprises me every time I talk to her. I always thinking to myself, okay, Judi Fox, not quite the name of the prior four. And because there's not a lot of people crushing LinkedIn, and Judy's one of them. And she kind of came out of nowhere. She's got amazing energy. She's awesome. I think the thing that I loved the most that she talked about was creating your own personal hashtag. If you create your own personal hashtag, because LinkedIn's known for hashtags, Instagram and LinkedIn. LinkedIn, not the quantity of Instagram, but like 3 or 4 hashtags on every post. But she, so Judi Fox, and she has hashtag Fox Rocks. And what's ended up happening is because she's become very well known, and she's become extremely well known on Clubhouse and LinkedIn. People will tag her by using her hashtag, which is cataloging her content. It's cataloging her, and basically her audience is helping blow her up with that hashtag. And so it's really freaking smart. And then I brought up my loan officer, who's he's our number one guy. He has a hashtag, I do home loans. And everything he does is I do home loans. And this is the tractor pulling guy. He goes to tractor pulling meets, and he always tells us, he goes, guys, I'm walking through the arena at a tractor pull and people will yell at me, hey, I do home loans. And it's like, he goes, that's how I know that shit's working. Because people recognize me, they recognize my tag. And so it's a consistency over time kind of thing. And I love that. I thought that was really good.
Dude, that's what I love too. It just, again, it just made me realize again, while talking to you, how badly I suck at LinkedIn. So
yeah,
we can end with that. I'm already sad now.
I have one more. I have one more.
Oh, what did you?
Another thing that Judi said that was very profound. That's the word of the day. Put the link in your bio. So if you're always linking to something, remember what's going to happen with these people when they follow you and they like your post. This applies to really all, especially like LinkedIn or Instagram as well. If they like your post, what are they going to do? They're going to click on your bio to go stalk you. So make sure you have a really good, sexy link for them to stalk you even more in your bio. And because if you put it in the comments, many times they're not actually going to read all the comments or the caption. And so it's a very simple thing, but remember how important your bio is on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok, actually. All three of those, your bio is insanely important. And so, because your bio is your SEO. It's your search engine optimization, and people stalk you. That's how they go follow you, because they go, remember what I said about TikTok? I'm an Ozarks content creator now. I did that intentionally. Those are the kind of things that you got to think about when you're putting your bio on all those three platforms specifically. So with that, I'll end.
Dude, and look, we're just scratching the surface. That there was so much on this. I listened to it. I'm on my third round, and I'm like, how did I miss that the first time? Even when I was listening to Jeff at the beginning, I'm like, I don't remember that. So, yeah, this was really good, man. This is really good.
I agree.
Glad we did it. I can't wait till part 2.
The good point. We'll bring that up. If you did not watch Social Genius, you can go buy it. I'm sorry, we have to charge for this. It was so freaking good that we would be doing it a disservice if we gave it away for free. The event was free. If you want it for free, show up at the event next time, because we're going to do this again. We're eyeballing January the 12th, I believe. So just keep an eye out. We'll post it 10,000 times. When we nail it down, we're going to have another batch of amazing, creators, social media studs, you name it. And it's going to be awesome. And so, dude, this was a fun episode. We've already created, now we have 2 topics for the next episode. So there's so much to talk about. This is so much fun. Have we said that before?
This is fun, dude. This is my most fun podcast. Like it's not even work. I love it.
I agree. It sharpens our knives, man. We're sharpening our knives so we can sharpen yours. Bam.
Ooh, I'm sharpening my sword. Forget the knife.
There's our tagline in. We're sharpening our sword so we can sharpen yours.
Your baby knives.
Mic drop. I'm gonna drop my mouse.
Or drop your cool hat.
I won't. Or my cocktail. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. As always, follow, like, comment, leave us a testimonial, especially for this podcast. We love you. It helps us a lot. And so take 2 minutes after you're done listening to this, go to iTunes or wherever you're listening, say whatever you have to say that's really nice. If you have anything negative to say, don't say it at all. You know what your mother told you. And thank you for being a follower of Drunk on Social, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to Drunk on Social, the Symposium. We are here to help you take your business to new levels through social media. Make sure to subscribe to get updates on new episodes and come join us on our Drunk on Social Facebook page. And as always, make sure you leave us a great review on your favorite podcast app. Feedback and likes are very much appreciated.